The Adventure of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Shurima Bupapot. Chapter 15. Back from the dead. But there was no joyfulness in the village that Saturday afternoon. The Harpers and Ashpori family were overcome with guilt and an unusual quiet presence. The village, the village, the village, the villagers talked little, but they sighed often. The Sunday holiday seemed a burden to the children. They was not interested on their sports and contrary gave them up. In the afternoon, Reggie Thatcher found herself wandering about the desert schoolyard and feeling very unhappy, but she saw nothing there to comfort her. Presently, he stopped and said to herself, "It was just here. Oh, if he was to do it again, I want, I, I would say that he was very smart. I would say that for the world, but he gone now. You and I never see him anymore." This truth made her burst into tears, and she walked slowly away. Then a group of boys and girls, Tom and Joe Paynes, came by. They stood looking over the fence and talking in respectful tone of how Tom did so and so the last time they saw him, and how Joe said this and that. When the Sunday school hour was finished the next morning, the church bell began to ring very slowly and solemnly, instead of ringing in the usual way. The villagers began to gather, standing a moment in the entrance of the church of Converse. In the whisper about the sad event, none could remember when the little church had been so full before. There was finally a waiting pause, and then Ashpori interest in the seat, and many followed by the Harbour family. All the deep back. The villager and the old miniatures as well rose respectfully and stood until the monies were just in front. The miniatures pay and a morning secular song sung as the service proceeds, and miniatures the church printer of the Kramer was where the real promise of the lost children shining that every soul there, thinking that the reconnaissance his preacher felt sad in the remembering that he has only seen frost in the full boys. The remaster disguised some good deeds in the leaf of the deep trace, which showed their swift, generous nature. The villagers become more and more moved as the sad toll went on still, and until at last there was not a dive eye in in the white church. Among the anxious seats upstairs, there was a slight noise, which nobody noticed. A moment later, the church door creaked. The minister placed his steaming eyes above his handkerchief and stood at a turn to stone, gazing in the reflection of the door. All turned loudly to their feet and stared as if they not believe their eyes while the three dead boys came marching up the middle of the class, homelessing Jonas and Huck's last. They had been hidden upstairs listening to Unholy Mary and the harbour to himself upon they recover once. He stared to cliff away, but Tom seized him and said, "Unholy, it isn't fair. Somebody must begin to see Huck, and so they shall. I get to see him, poor motherless boy." And the loving attentions which Unholy showered upon him made him more uncomfortable than he was before. Suddenly, and Mr. stood at the top of his voice. Police got from whom all blessing fell. Sing, and put your hearts into it. And they did. Why the grand old song chose the roof, Tom Sawyer and Pilate looked around upon the any in children about him and confessed in his heart that this was the proudest moment of his life. Thank you.